The film begins with a view of an emerald tropical island spread out in the middle of the endless ocean. An unconscious girl lies on a sandy beach at the very edge of the water. The story switches to blogger Madison. A girl with a serious look talks about the sacramentality of traveling around the world. By this she means exclusively 5-star resorts in Thailand. She takes photos and posts videos, looking with envy at the posts of fellow influencers, purely for the sake of education. Confirming her professional suitability, Madison takes a promotional photo with the cream against the backdrop of hotel landscapes. In the evening, behind the bar, a moderately well-fed Briton in the prime of his life rolls up to her, but doesn't understand hints. Madison's hotel neighbor, C, saves her from annoying society by suggesting that she take a walk further away. Walking along a narrow bridge over the surface of the water, Madison confesses to a new friend that she could fly on vacation with her boyfriend, but he refused at the last moment. She also reveals the influencer's dark secret. Actually, in fact, she does not absorb the mysterious Asian culture and cools off at pool, deceiving his subscribers. Then she offers her a real adventure and takes you off into the dawn on a moped along a route that winds like a thread of fate. Before the sun has risen, the girls climb to the top of the mountain. At the sight of the exotic country stretched out before them, an admiring Madison feigns feeling of beauty. She immediately makes a post with a detailed message. What are you like? Everyone is unhappy if you don't do like me. The day continues with further exploration of less touristy Thailand. Zoos, ordinary streets and taverns, simple eateries. Madison's smartphone just doesn't smoke from tension, preserving photographic evidence of her exclusivity. Concluding a languid evening, the girls pick up guys from among the tourists so that they can hang out for a short time. Returning to the hotel full of new impressions, Madison sees that the door to the room is wide open. She carefully sneaks inside, pretending not to hear the alarming music. Behind the scenes, inside, she notices that all her things have been ransacked and her documents have been stolen. She helps her new friend with calling the police and paperwork. It takes time, specifically 2 weeks, to get a new passport from the embassy. New girlfriend suggests passing this time together by immersing yourself in an exotic culture with head. Madison calls her boyfriend to tell her something very unpleasant news. He, with infantile spontaneity, accuses the girl of sabotaging the planned shooting. The quarrel develops into a break in relations and a rethinking of values. Together with C, Madison rides along tourist routes, exploiting poor ties and does not forget to keep subscribers updated on events. The girls explore caves, scare bats, smoke on the pier of a fishing village and don't forget to take photos. Having found a motorcycle, C drives like Valentino. The destination is her own home in a remote area. But this is not the only surprise she has prepared for her friend. Rising before dawn, C leads Madison to the dock where her own boat is moored. Their girls only get to a remote tropical island, uninhabited as it should be for decent islands. Meanwhile, Madison notices the notches on the log, but doesn't pay much attention to them. Having lit a fire, the girls tell scary stories in the evening. Madison says that if she were a horror movie heroine, C would probably kill her on this deserted island. In response, she tells a creepier story. She would simply leave her friend alone to die from hunger, dehydration, and hallucinations. Madison counters that as a popular blogger, subscribers would immediately grab hold of her and start looking for her. What lies behind the counter-argument? Subscribers will be deeply violent if she disappears. Anyone can write a useless blog. Perceiving this is all hilarious intellectual game, Madison calmly falls asleep. At dawn, C, having grabbed her things, carries out the plan told the day before and sails away from the island, leaving her companion lying on the sand. The story moves forward 3 weeks. She, having stolen Madison's accounts, continues to let her blog using a wig and the magic of Photoshop. Having completed the contract obligations with sponsors and having earned money from this, the girl takes a break from social networks. A photo of Madison on the beach adorns the wall where there are already 4 other competitors. With a sense of accomplishment and a noticeably swollen wallet, she wanders through Thai streets and establishments, vigilantly tracking down a new victim. The girl notices another connoisseur of Asian exoticism and inspiring travel named Jessica. The thrill of the hunt fills your head with adrenaline, and here comes C is already hanging on the tail of its future girlfriends. Having driven the prey into the souvenir shop, she goes on the offensive, A casual conversation ensues, but unsuccessfully. Jessica doesn't fall for C's charm. Having retreated temporarily, she continues to study the profile of the chosen victims in order to pick up the keys. Having stalked Jessica at a bar, C pushes on his vanity by posing as her follower. The plan succeeds. Jessica makes contact. C tells her a legend copied from Madison and casually says that she has a huge booked on the island, a villa that is too uncomfortable to live in alone. During a photo shoot, she pulls out a key card from a new acquaintance in order to break up and get into the room, having pulled off a trick with stealing documents. She is waiting for a call from a friend in trouble to invite her to stay at her place. But upon arrival at the villa, the girls are in for a surprise. A path of rose petals, arranged by Ryan, Madison's boyfriend, who essentially pays the rent. Due to new circumstances, she has to make adjustments to the carefully adjusted scheme. With help voice synthesizer, she imitates a call from Madison, who is defending C and trying to drive Ryan away. But that one insists on a personal meeting. The three of them go to the coast. While taking a photo of Jessica, Ryan asks her about C and tells how Madison was robbed. Comparing such an interesting coincidence and the legend of C, Jessica, in turn, wants to ask the guy about his relationship with girlfriend. She also writes in the evening message Madison to nominate meeting, unaware that she stole it account and has access to correspondence. Jessica flees the bar to pack her things and escape her suspicious neighbor. She is pursued, letting the taxi driver go. During conversation, all the coincidences emerge that led to very alarming thoughts. When logical arguments ended, but no result achieved succeeded, she resorts to the last argument, violence. She slams Jessica's head against the wall and then the stiletto heel pierces the throat. Compactly packing the body into a suitcase, she washes away traces of blood, barely in time before Ryan returns. He brought with him a crowd of guests to hang out by the pool, which is something the girl who lives here on a bird's license naturally doesn't like. She asks the guy to send them out and receives a rude and cynical refusal. Frustrated, she takes a kitchen knife and slowly walks up the stairs. The squeak of a smartphone distracts your attention. Ryan tagged her in the photo. She understands that she incognito has been revealed. The plan is needed urgently adjust. In the morning, she makes breakfast, imitating Jessica's departure with a plate of leftovers. Ryan goes to social networks, where he sees a new post from Madison. Allegedly, she has met a new love for life. The guy gets upset, not realizing what this is an insidious conspiracy between she and Photoshop. He spends his entire time upset a day with C, who carefully slips pills into his drinks while discussing business heartfelt and blogging. At night, C drags the stoned Ryan home to treacherously put him to bed, and dress him and simulate sexual intercourse. But the main thing is that she needs access to his phone and account in order to delete a post mentioning herself. In the morning they wake up in the same bed and the guy, making sure that he is lying naked, notices a condom on the floor. She takes him to the ferry, where they say a cold goodbye. Ryan is about to leave. After making sure that he has left, the girl burns Madison's things and the wig with which she gave herself away for her, thus covering her tracks. The last thing to go into the fire is the girl's passport, which the cunning killer for some reason still hasn't gotten rid of. The story suddenly flashes back to the moment Ryan and Madison met. After the first date, the guy takes a photo and convinces the girl to try becoming an influencer. While reminiscing, Ryan visits the hotel in Thailand where Madison's latest post was launched. He asks at the reception if his girlfriend was staying with them. Having received a negative answer, the guy, upset, goes to a bar where he meets an Englishman. He remembers with difficulty, but the episode with a robbed number, as well as the two girls who left the next day and never returned. Having clarified that one of them had a birthmark, Ryan continues to collect material. He shows a photo from yesterday from the hotel, but due to the weather it was clearly taken much earlier. Then Ryan calls his friend Madison to find out when he spoke to her for the last time via video call and finds out that she was the last once I communicated only by voice, just like he did on the phone. Suspecting all sorts of things, the guy reviews his friend's story. Frame by frame viewing reveals an editing defect. From under the superimposed picture, CS birthmark appears for a second. Tormented by doubts, he returns to the villa. Carefully examining the room, the guy finds a backpack, and in it is Madison's diary, which for some reason she was embarrassed to burn. When she comes down up the stairs, Ryan delivers a preemptive blow to the head. Having tied up the girl, the guy pours water on her to bring her to her senses. He admits that sex is even being stoned. He won't forget. Ryan wonders where Madison is now. As proof, he shows the diary, but she is unwilling to give up. She rightly believes that there is no direct evidence against her, unlike the guy who beat and tied up the woman. When Ryan threatens her with a knife, she honestly reports that Madison didn't do anything and offers to take her to her. At night they go to the pier, where she pushes the guy into the water. Diving after him, she frees her hands from behind her back and strangles him with ropes. When did he stop resist? The girl swims out onto surface. She loads the body into the boat and returns to the house to wash off the blood. Afterwards, she writes a farewell post from Ryan's account and enjoys the response messages. Digging through his things, Steve finds a ring. In the morning, she goes to the boat to take the body to the island, but an unpleasant surprise awaits her on the beach. Another warm fire and a container for collecting rainwater. There are many more notches on the log, depending on the number of days that have passed. Realizing that everything did not go according to plan, she grabs a shovel from the boat and sets off like a soldier into the tropical jungle. She's careful, walks around the island in search of a survivor, but finds only two graves on the top of the hill. Looking at the crosses, she does not notice how Madison sneaks up from behind and knocks her down with a well-aimed blow from her club. Not wanting to repeat the mistakes of horror movie heroes, the blogger approaches the prone opponent and delivers a control blow, after which an exhausted Madison goes down to the beach to the boat where her boyfriend's body rests. She comes to his senses the sound of a running motor. She runs to the beach and sees a boat rushing into the distance, leaving her on the island in the same way as she abandoned her gullible victims. Realizing the irony of the situation, the girl laughs nervously while the strong-willed Madison leads the boat out to sea, towards the inhabited islands visible on the horizon.